Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another Kidstuf. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Jeremy.
And today we're going to start our 6-week journey through the 10 Commandments. So we're going to tell you a little bit of how the 10 Commandments came about and the story behind the 10 Commandments. And we're going to read you the 10 Commandments so we can get prepared for the next couple weeks.
So the story of the 10 Commandments starts at the beginning of Exodus with the 10 plagues. So, for those of you who don't know, the Israelites were held captive as slaves in Egypt, and God wanted to take them out. So he called Moses to come and get the Israelites out of Egypt. But the Pharaoh didn't really want them to leave. So Pharaoh was really, really angry at them for wanting to leave. And then God sent 10 plagues, which we've talked about before in Kidstuf, and we've seen a lot of. But after the 10th plague, the Israelites got to leave. So they left, and they started their journey towards the Promised Land. And this journey brought them to the Red Sea, and they couldn't cross it. It was flood time, so the sea was really high, and if they were to try to walk through the Red Sea, they were just going to get covered in water and washed away. And so God told Moses to take his staff and hold it up in the air, and it allowed them to cross the Red Sea on dry ground, which is really cool in flood season. And then, while they were walking to the Promised Land, they started to grumble and complain about food.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We talked about grumbling and complaining.
They did that a lot.
Yeah.
But God provided by giving them manna and quail. Just what's quail?
That's a good question.
It's a bird. So God provided quail and manna for them to eat, which was bread and meat. And then they came to a mountain called Mount Sinai. And this is where we start the journey of learning the 10 Commandments. So Moses went up onto Mount Sinai and talked to God, and then came back down and prepared a barrier around Mount Sinai for God to speak the 10 Commandments to the Israelites. And so this is what God told the Israelites from Mount Sinai.
So, in other words, these are the 10 Commandments. The first one is, you shall have no other gods before me. The second one, you shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven, above or on the earth, beneath or in the waters below. The third commandment is, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The fourth one is, remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. The fifth commandment is, honor your father and mother. The sixth commandment is, you shall not murder. The seventh is, you shall not commit adultery. The eighth is, you shall not steal. The ninth is, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. And the final one is, you shall not covet your neighbor's house.
So, those are the 10 Commandments. So the first question we have for you that we're going to answer later this week, but we want you to think about, is why do you think God gave them the 10 Commandments in the first place? And we'll talk about that in the next 5 weeks, learning about the Bible. And then there's another secret we have. In the Bible, there's the 10 Commandments a second time. Jessica, do you want to give them that hint?
I didn't know this until today, but here's the hint. Whenever I figured it out, I was blown away. So the other place you can find the 10 Commandments is in the Old Testament somewhere. So look through the Old Testament, see if you can find the other place where the 10 Commandments are said.
And I'll give you another hint since it's really hard to find. It's in a book that starts with the letter D.
What if you guys can figure it out? Let us know if you can figure it out. Yeah.
You can comment if your parents can comment and let us know where it's at if you found it. But do some searching this week and see if you can find the second place the 10 Commandments are at.
And we have a little bit of a craft for you guys. It'll be like a 6-week craft. What you need is gray construction paper, scissors, and a dark pencil. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to make the 10 Commandments. You're going to make the stones. And every week we talk about a 10 Commandment. You're going to write it down on the stone. So if you guys want, this week you can prepare your stones. You can cut out 2 pieces of gray paper and get ready to create the stones that Moses had.
And so, we're going to start our journey on the 10 Commandments, and we're going to use both the Old and New Testament to talk about them, because Jesus talks about the commandments all the time in the New Testament. So, be prepared to have your Bibles so that you can look up different verses that we tell you to look at.
We're excited to go through this journey with you.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.